All
So
right.
welcome, Bashar.
So happy to be here,
Sarcastic as always.
as always.
I hope you're happy because we can stop it right now
No,
and
no,
leave
no.
the building.
No.
All right. So I want to start with something that I thought coming here. I said to myself, "You're the first BBBB,
What does that
four
mean?
Bs, black belt, Bashar Bou Karroum."
You have weird thoughts. You think about things that nobody thinks about.
It's just that's going to be your trademark. This is BBBB.
It's not. It's not gonna be my.
Yeah, that's going to be
trademark, no.
amazing. First, let's start. Where were you born?
Yeah. So I was born, raised in Lebanon.
Got
so
it.
I was born in on like a small mountain. Very. It's away from the city. I lived there for about a few years, like 6, 7 years. Then I moved to the city. I moved to Beirut for 4 to 5 years, and then we moved back to the country. And then at about 16, 15, 16-ish, I moved here.
Got it.
From yeah.
What was the life like let's say,
It's different. It's different in the city. It's different in the mountains, and it's completely different here.
can you describe?
Yeah, and the mountains very secluded. There's not a lot of cars. When you go, like basically, there's villages, small villages, where like you're from, and then you move down the mountain where you can like live in a actual city, and then the more you get down the mountain, the closer you get to an actual city, like Beirut,
Mhm.
let's say. So in the mountains, it's up high. It's very secluded. Not a lot of cars. Not a lot of people. Everyone knows each other. So I used to spend summers there, and then we lived in the city right under it, where there's a lot of people. You have your friends. You have electricity. You have like when I say electricity, is like you have it constant. In the villages in the mountain, you can have like up to 4 to 5 hours a day. Not
That's it.
yeah, so it's not a lot. And then you have like the city Beirut, where I lived for like 4 to 5 years. That was a different experience, very chaotic. So
You were brought there because of work for your parents?
yes, my parents were working right in the middle of the city, so we lived there. Yeah, we lived there. I'm not good with like timelines, but we lived there even during the war in 2006. We lived through that, but we moved to the mountains because nothing is happening there, but they were bombing the city. So we had to get out of there in 2006. We had an apartment down in Beirut where the apartment got hit, but the building right next to it got split in half, which is crazy. And the splinters from the building went into our apartment, only destroyed my room. The apartment was fine. The only thing that got destroyed was my room.
And you were there?
No. We
Okay,
were
okay.
up in the mountains.
Okay.
Everyone moved from the
Everyone
city.
moved,
So the city
okay.
was basically empty.
Got it. But
Yeah.
when the war started, did you stay there or right away you moved?
Right, even before.
Okay.
Like when tensions get high, everyone leaves. Leaves because it was a war between a political party, let's say in Lebanon, and another country. So the whole country is affected, but they're definitely gonna target the place where these guys were, and we were living with them.
Mm.
So if you move to the mountains, there's nothing wrong with that. You can live a normal life up there. Yeah.
Do you remember being stressed about it? How were you dealing with all this?
Not really.
No?
As a kid, you really don't care. And as humans, I feel like we normalize everything, you know? If you're born in a third world country in poverty or whatever, like let's say that, it's normal for you to not like have cool things or
Yeah.
go to cool stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're born here, well, it's normal for you to have, you know, a nice car, a nice house,
iPhone.
and, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's very different. So when the war started, where I thought it was like fun, I can, you know, get to see fireworks or something. It makes no sense really.
But when did it start? How old were you?
2006, I was about 10.
Okay, but so you know a country without war,
Yeah,
and you know a country with war.
yeah, but it wasn't really a war.
What
It was
was
just like, there was no invasions,
Okay.
just bombing each other.
Well,
Yeah, so just bombs sending and
But that's
back and
nothing.
forth.
Nothing. There's no problem. It's just there's no war. There's just
But
bombs.
as long as you don't see, like,
But you saw.
yeah, you see like
You see them in the sky.
shadows of bombs like flying.
Okay, but
from
and
back
you're
forth.
thinking it's like la ronde feu d'artifice?
Exactly.
No, seriously.
Yeah, think about it like that.
Okay,
Exactly, yeah.
but is it because your parents talk to you in these terms,
No.
or you just
Nobody really talks to you, and as a 10-year-old, you don't really remember a lot of stuff. Like, you just remember moving to your grandma's place, and you're like, oh, yes, I get to stay at grandma's.
okay?
You don't really remember.
So you don't feel any shock, any trauma,
Nothing.
any
Actually,
nothing?
when we went back to after the war, we went
Yeah.
back. You could see like the rubble from
Yeah.
from the war. It didn't affect me at all. I don't know if like the other kids that were living there had the same experience or not,
Mhm.
but me, nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah, my brother was too young, so he doesn't remember.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when the war started, you went back to the mountains.
Yes.
And how do you feel about living in a mountain area, whatever you remember, versus the city? What are the?
It has pros and cons, right?
What are
The pros are it's a very tight community.
Mm-hmm.
You can make friends really fast. Everyone is nice. You can do a lot of activities on outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the pros, but nothing really is happening. So like your chances of good education, you might get one, you might not. Opportunities to work, you might get not. You know, you have to move to the city after to get a job or something. So that's the cons of it, right? Living in a.
What do you prefer?
I prefer the mountains, like as a lifestyle, because you get to be around your people. You get to like really experience what a community is, which is the complete opposite of here. No community whatsoever. So you might spend, I don't know, 3-4 months where you basically see no one here, and that's completely fine.
Especially in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there, you go a week without seeing someone, they think you're dead. You know, you gotta go out. You gotta do something. You know.
That's interesting. I think here it's odd because the more you are in a city where there's more people, the less you feel connected with the neighbor.
100%.
It's so odd. It's like counterintuitive almost.
100%. The more people around you, less social you're gonna get, because over there, I don't know. You're walking down the street, you see your neighbor. He waves to you. You go drink a coffee with him.
Yeah. I have a very fond memory of my stay in Île aux Coudres. And Île aux Coudres is a place in Quebec which has tops 500 people living on the island. Most of them never left the island. And I was just sent there, accepted a contract to teach English over there. I could walk in the street, people would open the doors and say, hey, you're the English teacher, come over.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, it was traumatic. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But I got used to it for 1 week. And I thought, man, this is actually fun.
Yeah, small places.
Yeah, it's actually very cool.
It's incredible.
I was curious because I see you as very cool under fire. Like I know you have very keen sarcastic skills of jokes. So at the beginning, I didn't know if it was true or not. I couldn't read you properly at the beginning. I was like, is it for real? Like, is he thinking these things? So I couldn't tell myself like what you were thinking exactly.
Even I don't know sometimes.
Yeah, just good. But I was thinking, does anything that because you lived through basically war, does it forge that kind of personality? Like kind of like.
No, not really. I've always been this. I've always been this way. I think, no matter how life was gonna go, I always take it as it's absurd, basically.
Yeah, but why do you say it's absurd?
Well, because we're a bunch of people, living. Someday we're gonna die. And I don't want to get too deep into it.
Let's go. But like, we're here.
There's not really a purpose.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want, really.
Exactly.
It's one life. You get to live it, and then you're gone. So
fantastic.
So do whatever you want.
Exactly. But in what fashion do whatever you want? You're not gonna start. Go.
Exactly.
Exactly. What's your goal then?
Me, honestly, I have no idea.
It's not true. I beg to differ.
Let's
find out.
Dude,
Come on, let's find out. You're not waking up in the morning and say, "Oh, today I'm going to do
Well,
this."
you find like purposes for yourself.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you find things to do. Everyone's gonna have a job. Everyone's gonna have a thing like a hobby, or so you find things to do. But the ultimately, you know, you're gonna live. You're gonna have kids or something, get married, or you're gonna die after.
Okay, but
So that's why I make it absurd.
put that way, don't you find there's a bit of cynicism in it?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
do you withdraw implication? Meaning that because you describe life like this, you can say, I'm just going to write it.
No.
Okay, so then
No,
go.
because it's a boring ride if you do that.
Exactly.
So you find a purpose, you know?
So what's yours?
You find something that stimulates you.
What's yours?
Plenty of things.
Go.
Well, about when I was 20 years old, I found jiu-jitsu. I was like sports, you know, and I made it like something I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me happy, so
Yeah.
I want to do this. I found it like as a purpose,
Got it.
you know, but other purposes, I'm not a very I don't have many things to do, you know. I don't do a lot, so I find sports. I like sports. I like reading a lot, which nobody believes me, but that's like something I like to I like to do.
What the things you like to read?
I'm very big into Russian literature, which I know exactly. Everyone has the same reaction.
Like Tolstoy and all these
yeah,
guys?
yeah. Actually, I'm reading Tolstoy right now. Yeah.
Shut the trap door.
Yeah.
What is it about?
I'm reading War and Peace right now, which is it's so long.
Man, I just heard about this book, how
Yeah.
thick it was. But you know, there's something interesting because for me, I never was a good reader, meaning that it's very hard for me
Yeah.
to stay concentrated. And within all those Instagram era, you're telling me the youths are reading.
No, they're not.
No, but you are. I'm meaning that the first time I meet somebody that tells me this.
Yeah.
And
So see how we talked about purposes? We all have purposes. My purpose was not really reading. I was like, I don't want to be part of this new way of doing things where you have the attention span of 5 seconds.
Got
I don't really like this.
amazing.
And especially being in jiu-jitsu, you have to use your brain a lot and analyze stuff and learn techniques and analyze matches and all that. So you need to have like a good attention span. And the best way for me to do it is because I love these books, is reading. So now I just take my book, shut off my phone, read as long as I can. And that way it keeps me, you know, concentrated. So,
Amazing.
so it's just
What do you like about the book you're reading now? What do you find? What do you gain from that kind of book?
I like the eras. I like to see how humans lived at certain eras. You know, like they drink tea every day, and you know they go visit each other, and they ride a horse, and you know it's so different from today. So I like to live through different eras while reading these books. I read a lot of them, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I have
How many books you read? What's the rate? Just for fun.
I don't know, depending how big the book is. Like
Yeah.
my last 4 books that I read, they were so long.
Yeah.
I got a birthday gift from my girlfriend, was the Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay. Classic.
It's a big one though. Yeah. And I just read Dostoevsky is a big one.
Jesus, you read like
Yeah.
the ones.
Yeah, my mother recommended Dostoevsky like a few years ago, and I've been like on a tear. I read all his books, so now I'm up to like the last one.
You're like a scholar of
I'm not, dude.
ancient. No, but still, you're reading. You're not reading this bestseller, like a New York bestseller that was. No, you're reading like big ass classics.
Yes, but they're not that complicated. Like people think it's hard, or it's very deep, or it's not really. Like it's normal life, and they're talking about normal things, and so it's very interesting to see. Just
Man, I did not know about you. This is so cool.
I know people don't. Dude,
You hide it.
I
hide it.
Of course, I hide it. I
You
mean,
you hide. You just walk
you're in
around. You're like,
jiu-jitsu. You need to look cool. It's a,
but you don't have to do anything to
You
look
have
cool.
to.
No,
In
you
jiu-jitsu-
are cool.
in
You are
jiu-jitsu,
cool.
you have to be like
No,
this.
it's even better. You have this like knowledge skill, like a secret weapon
Yeah,
that you're
but-
studying. So did you read like those You know the what's the book? The Japanese one. You know the strategy of war.
No, see,
Zansu or something like that.
no, not
No,
into these
no,
stuff.
no.
Not at all. No, I'm into
Well, you can
like
use it in jujitsu though. Huh?
I just pull guard, dude. I'm not using any type of war in this.
Wow, that's so cool. All right, so you made the leap um, fairly recently to live off jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay, what lit up the switch to do that? Because not a lot of people. Some people might think about it. Other people like what made it like you say, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do this for a while.
Okay, so I à la base, I'm a kinesiologist.
Mm-hmm.
So I specialized in rehab
Yeah.
for mostly patients who had a stroke or des blessures de moelle épinière, tu vois.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
Spinal cord
injuries. So they get like handicapped and they can't really they need to use a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So after they get done doing their surgeries, they need to relearn how to walk, and
Got it.
usually they start with a physiotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
But then they need like muscles, so they need like more exercise specified for them, so they can rebuild their muscle strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to do that. Now it's heavy. First things first. And
what's heavy about it?
It's because you see it as this very good thing, right? To help these people give them energy, but they're not doing very well because they're in a very bad situation. Most of them are on antidepressants, and you need a lot of energy to motivate them.
Yeah.
So this energy must come from you. So it's draining you.
I get it.
Also, you do about like, I don't know how many clients a day, like 10, 12. It's a very long shift of work, and you're sitting down basically. They're doing the work, but you're just like watching. So it's relatively boring. Let's just say that. Jiu-jitsu is the complete opposite. You're moving around all day. You're teaching, you're showing moves, you're rolling with your students. So this is something I like. I like to be moving around. Like my nightmare would be to do a 9 to 5 in front of a screen. I would shoot myself. So I can't really do that.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity, Luciano proposed it. I thought about it and I was like, let's try. So ever since I started doing that, and no regrets, honestly, I'm loving the teaching the kids, teaching the adults, rolling more, So I'm loving this new lifestyle.
Awesome. Now, how do you balance out? I know you're competing a lot also. How do you balance the teaching and the competing?
So this is a great question because I'm not really competing. And why do I say that? I'm competing in local, provincial, national level. Okay? But actual competitions like on the world stage or pans or whatever, I'm not doing that. And specifically because I am teaching, when I do like these small tournaments, I don't need that much training, I do need a lot of training. It's hard, it's obviously, but I don't need that much. Okay. If I need to go do the worlds and compete at the highest level against the highest level black belts, I can't be teaching. So I made this compromise, and actually Luciano talked to me about it. I've never had this conversation with anyone. He told me you have to pick between competing and teaching because they don't really go hand to hand. If I want to compete seriously, I need to move countries or go to a gym where there's actual world champion competitors so I can train with them and then get as good as them and then compete. But I'm not doing that. I want to teach. So I chose the teaching route, and I compete just to motivate my students, really. Like the Nogi guys that I have, they just starting to compete. Most of them are blue belts. Now we have a few purples, but they're just starting out. So they need like a bit of guidance. So I get on the mats and, I do my best, and then now they can.
Well, why not
follow.
Compete? Like you say you don't compete. You compete in local. National. It's still competition.
It's still competition, but
it's not the world stage.
Exactly.
So there's another level. So let's say you go on another level. So let's say you're the world stage. Why not?
Because I have to change my whole lifestyle. I have to train twice a day every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have to eat well. I have to be broke because that's the jiu-jitsu world.
Exactly.
I have to travel. I have to do all that. So it doesn't really let so many sacrifices for so little results.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna do that and you're really passionate about it, go do it.
Yeah,
you know. But I'm not passionate about this hard lifestyle.
I feel you.
You know, I want to have a normal job like I have. I want to teach jiu-jitsu, of course. I want to train jiu-jitsu, but I also want to have money. I want to have a girlfriend. I want to have a life. I want to go out.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
so that's why I say it's not the highest level, because these
Yeah.
guys they're sacrificing their whole lives for this.
Yeah, we glorify a lot of that, right?
But it's
But we
not.
don't see the monk-like existence
Yeah.
that they live, and
Yeah.
we do. Oh, what is he sacrificed
Yeah,
basically
like
everything.
I might have had the potential to get on the world stage, but at what price? You know, for the last 5 years, I could have just trained jiu-jitsu nonstop and might have like won something like a pan or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, the rest of my life is taking a big hit.
Yeah, there's a show that I saw. There was I think a national skier that won triple gold for Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and she was 26, and she said very emotionally, she said, I got out of the Olympics because it was getting too much. I'm seeing all my friends, they all have families, and what do I have to show for? I'm living in my mother's house,
Yeah,
and in my drawer I have 3 gold medals. And
Exactly.
the way she said it was heartbreaking,
yeah. But
because you're
it's-
thinking this person since the age of 10 or even younger did only that,
yeah,
and she won gold, the most prized position. And everybody, all the companies, Canada, we're proud of her. They don't give them money.
no, they're not.
No, they give them peanuts.
Exactly.
But when the time to bankroll on their gold, they're there.
Yeah.
And we always there. We always knew.
And
But at the end of the
jiu-jitsu,
day, they have nothing. And jiu-jitsu is not like
it's not a profitable one.
exactly. It's not Olympics,
Yeah.
right? It's not even nothing comes to mind, but it is a growing sport. Even
Yeah.
if it's now
But
we think it's
They'll
like,
drain you from your money to compete. If you're gonna do worlds, if you're gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah.
IBJF, ADCC,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
paying crazy amounts of
yeah,
money
yeah.
just to go compete.
yeah.
You know, you're not getting paid.
And it make you feel privileged, probably. Like, are you privileged to
Yeah,
compete in our
yeah, exactly.
competition?
Yeah,
'Cause it's amazing.
ADCC, you're gonna do ADCC, but
Yeah.
you're still paying like $100. Last time was $169 or something to compete in ADCC.
And everybody's paying that.
Yeah, even the
Wow.
kids.
Wow.
Crazy.
Excellent. Let's continue on with jiu-jitsu as a general topic. What in jiu-jitsu, when you started, hooked you? Like, what was the elements that when you started, you go, aha?
Oh, I like the pain. I love it.
You know, I have a hard time believing this.
I swear.
You like the pain.
I like it.
Okay, so it's like a masochistic thing?
I have no idea.
No, but you say, okay, this is amazing. I like the pain.
Yeah. I like at the beginning.
Help me here.
I'm trying to help you. You chose the weirdest person to invite, and that's your fault.
That's my fault.
You
okay,
made-
okay, no problem.
You made the mistake.
Okay, so why not like a dungeon if you like the pain?
No, but like, I love sports.
Okay, got
Okay,
it.
I love sports.
Yeah.
I love being competitive.
Got it.
I like that. I like no teammates in the sport. I like doing that.
Got it.
You know, no
Solo.
no team effort.
Got it.
You know, everything's on you. You win, you lose.
Beautiful. That's a
And
good point.
you know, I started jiu-jitsu and I was like, I'm getting smashed by everyone. This is amazing. I want to learn this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I know how
So-
you feel.
So that's why I started, and it wasn't really that hard for me. Like, it came extremely naturally. So yeah, I know people say you have to train really hard. I did train really hard, but I've had it better than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been relatively an easy road for me. you know?
Okay.
Like up until like blue belt, I stopped getting smashed. So yeah. So
I think it for a lot of people when they get that first year smash and they stay, because I was thinking about it. That was a question that I was asking people: why didn't you quit?
yeah,
Like
I
why
saw
didn't
that.
you quit? Because you have all the reasons to quit. You come here, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You come here, you have people half your size.
Yeah, it's the worst marketing
Yeah, smashing
sport.
you.
Yeah,
So, and some people stay, and even me, I ask myself, why did I stay? Because there's no I like to win.
Yeah, it's addictive.
I don't like to be underneath a 250-pound guy and for 4 minutes. That's not. It's not. I don't consider this as a fun experience.
It's not.
I don't like pain, contrary to you. I despise pain. Okay, my mother would even tell you, I'm a wuss. Okay,
Wow.
I was on big time. Like a pain, no, I can't tolerate.
But you
pain.
stuck to it.
I stuck to it because I liked the vibe of the school. I like my coach.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that some people that are way smaller than me would beat me. I would laugh about it. I was going, I can't believe this. This can't be happening. So then my trust shifted to jiu-jitsu as an art. Like thinking, okay, so jiu-jitsu, what I saw in UFC is actually real.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that just been training for 2 years are manhandling me like if I was a mop.
Yeah.
And that I found interesting. But I remember there was phases where I wanted to go like, this I can't. Like, this is too much. Like, it's too much at some point. You know, like when you point, at one point I'm going to understand it's going to be fun. And one point I'm going to understand it's going to be fun. And the rate of understanding is very slow. Like, I don't know.
It is. I didn't try to understand. That's the good part.
Yeah, maybe me too much. Yeah, me too much maybe. But I would compare it also to salsa dancing a lot, which I was decent. So whenever I would go, I know at one point I would be. I was interesting to figure out at one point what I feel about jiu-jitsu as I feel about salsa dancing. But the real issue is that your partner never cooperates compared to salsa dancing, right? Salsa dancing is like the whole goal is cooperation.
Yeah.
And intuition, trying to get the feel of the person, trying to make her do the move the smoothest as possible. Now, if you try the same principles in terms of doing it, there is the same thing. It's like the art of movement, how do you do the move? It's the same kind of learning curve, but at the same time, you're always subjected to somebody that doesn't want you to do the move.
That's the good part about it. I think I like this part because you get to maneuver around someone who doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And that's what's addictive about it. You get some control over your opponent. You get a little bit at white belt and it keeps you hooked until you get a blue belt. You get a little more and you're like, oh, I need to get more of this.
Yeah.
Purple, brown, and then at black belt, you can do a lot more where you can, control everyone basically. And that's the good part. So that's what hooks people. The winning part, the control part.
So what happens to the people in your interpretation of people that come in and doesn't stick to it if you and I stuck to it?
Well, because it depends. There's a lot of reasons. Personality reasons. You might have a personality that's not made for jiu-jitsu. Like you don't want to do this. You want to do something else. You don't like the sport. Maybe you don't like the contact. I know a lot of people don't like the contact.
Yeah, I get it.
People don't like injuries because that's part of it. Obviously, you're doing a contact sport.
But to be honest, from all the sports I practice, everything I saw, there's not more injuries in jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
So people have it wrong, and that's it. Oh, it's a combat sport. I saw, let's just say, as many injuries in basketball, as many injuries in any other sport.
If you played smart, you can go your whole jiu-jitsu journey without an actual injury. If you do it recreationally, let's say.
100%.
You can go the whole way. You just have to tap.
Yeah.
People think if you tap, it's a bad thing in training.
No, I'm. The injury that I had nothing to do with jiu-jitsu, and in 10 years, sprains here, sprains there, but nothing major.
Exactly, but that's it. It's part of the sport. It's part of every sport.
Exactly, I agree.
So,
how about nowadays? I'm curious about your take on this trend that's flooded YouTube, the ecological approach. What are your thoughts?
First things first, I love it. And I'll tell you why, because I've always hated drilling. I just want to get some mat time. I want to, learn by doing. So the approach itself is like giving you...
Can you explain the approach?
Oh, it's a hard one. It's very complicated, but if I give you the main idea, it's like I give you a game, and I give you tasks in the game.
Yeah.
And let's say if you... I need you to go get this guy's leg. Find a way to get his leg.
Yeah.
Standing up. Like we're resting up, and then you need to find a way to get through to the leg, and then you start experimenting. You're doing stuff, you're doing it, and then at some point you find a way to get rid of his hands and grab his leg in a single.
Mm-hmm.
So you just found out by yourself how to do a single leg.
Don't you think that there's a place to show the proper way to grab?
So exactly, that's like the counter approach. So the counter approach is you're wasting time by letting this guy find it by himself instead of showing him the right technique that's been used for many, many, many years.
Yeah, the counter argument would be it would stick for a longer time in your brain if you find it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
If your effort you put in, and
that's it. So that's the whole idea. I think ever since I started teaching, because I come from a kinesiology background, and you have classes where they teach you how to help someone learn. And it's a very, very interesting classes. I had like 4 or 5 of them. I didn't plan this to have them. I just had them, these classes. And what the university says, the right approach is a mix of both. So you need to teach someone what to do, in order for them to do the right thing. But you also need to let them experiment. It's called a challenge point. So you need to find a challenge point where you let them, you teach them how to win.
But you don't spoon-fed the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so you give them like a taste of it, and then they have to find their way to do it. So that's what I do in my classes ever since I started teaching. Mm-hmm. I've always every Wednesday class starts with a little bit of a game where you try to get like a single leg or a body lock or something, and if you win this game, your partner has to do push-ups.
Yeah.
Who cares about the push-ups? It's just I'm trying to teach you how to get to these positions in fun. Game way, and then after that I teach you, like, give you tools to get there easily.
I have mixed feelings about it, and my feelings changed because at the beginning I was trying to understand what it was, and I thought there was too much scientific terms thrown, like to explain something that is quite simple.
Well, that's the jiu-jitsu community. Trying to
I'm
be
like,
smart.
what are we talking about for 10 minutes? It's a game. But then I was trying to figure out what exactly is it? Like compared to, let's say, the way my brain functions, compared to the way I like to be taught and to teach. And I was thinking also, can I find something in there that I can use in my dance school? Like literally some ideas that I can port. Okay. And it wasn't easy, but I found 1 or 2 things.
Okay.
The first thing was to tell my students, you're not allowed to go on the right side. Do whatever move, you have to cross body left.
So you give them a limit.
I tried it. Yeah,
that's it.
So you can only use one arm. That's what I was already doing, but I had other ideas where I kind of secluded a space to just for the purpose of them thinking differently. So now they have to problem solve every move they know. I did it with an advanced class. Very interesting experiment. I went a bit too hard. And it went sideways after a minute, so I have to dial back the idea because it's almost
that's
impossible.
The whole, as a coach or as a teacher, your job is
adjust
to adjust and to find a way where it makes them learn instead of makes them go crazy.
Exactly. So. And the other thing I was thinking about jiu-jitsu, I like the traditional approach of you show me. Then I was thinking, whenever I like drilling, for the simple reason that I like my body to loosen up after the 1,000 rep. I said to a client recently, she said, well, I'm doing this technique, which is a right turn with a partner, but it doesn't feel smooth. And my only answer was, it will after the 100th time.
Yeah.
I don't need to show you how to do it smooth. So the drilling aspect I like, because your body will repeat so often, at some point in time, it will become efficient at repeating.
See, that's one of the good arguments for traditional training.
Exactly. Which that part I like. The part that I don't like, it's not that I don't like drilling, I actually like it, is that it's out of context in a bit. Like when we train and we want our partner to do the correct reaction, but because we're drilling slow, your partner is not in any threat.
Exactly.
So he's not reacting as if he's going to get murdered. So he's like just staying there and he's not going to have the right reaction. So now you have to teach the reaction to your partner. And your partner does the reaction without even knowing why he's doing it. And this is where there's I think, a disconnect, where people okay, well, you have to do it because in real life
See,
you would push
that's a great point for the ecological
I agree. I agree. And the other thing that I thought, at beginning I was thinking that approach would work only with advanced practitioners,
So
and
you
I
see,
changed my mind.
so you see, that's I'm for that actually, because if you try these task-based games with beginners, you have to really slow it down. Like you have to pick really easy
Yeah, but I mean, I
limits.
changed my mind completely. I'll tell you why. For example, at the beginning, I thought, okay, that was very good for athletic people, and it's very good for advanced practitioners. So people that know what they're doing now, they can really bank on that. But then I thought, when you start and you put somebody puts you in a position, and they go, okay, let's go get out of the position. So as a beginner, you don't know what's what, and then you're going to be told, listen, don't worry about it. You're going to get it at some point. You're going to figure it out. 6 months down the road, I'm still pushing on the guy's chest. I'm trying to get out. I don't know how to get out. Then you see the technique. You're trying it. But then I talk about my personal experience. I was willingly put in a position like the side mount a lot. And I put myself in that position to try to get out. And to this day, it's the hardest position to get out. I rather be completely mounted. And I'm way easier for me to get out. I purposely do it. I feel it's a hard position to get out. Maybe not enough practice, not enough knowledge, whatever it is. But I feel that for a beginner, if you tell them, don't let somebody take your back, that's one very general rule. But how about we just say, okay, somebody has your back. The hooks are not in. Don't let him in. That's the only thing you need to do. Don't try to get out of the position. Just don't let the hooks come in. And that's it. That's the only job. Then it's very simple in his head, right?
That's you made the game simple.
Exactly.
And it's good for beginners.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And as you progress, as I'm progressing as a coach also, the more advanced my students get, the more complicated I make the games. So I have like half of the class is games and the other half is I'm teaching techniques. So I mix both because I don't know what's best, And a lot of coaches claim to have the best way. I find it weird, because how are you so confident that what you're doing is right? I tell you right now, I don't know if what I'm doing is right. I test stuff. If it works out, my students get better, I do more of it. If it doesn't, I take it out.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So I'm just testing stuff at this point.
And also that's the I think it's a great way to look at it, because from point A to point B, you have a result that you're looking for, and it could mutate through time and through the person. So that means that from one group it really works well.
Yeah.
Then you try it again with somebody else. You're like, what the
It's
hell's
not working.
happening?
Yeah.
So by staying in an experimental stage, I think we find maybe solutions.
Yeah, you adjust so much in what you do.
Yeah, it's good.
So
I like your approach.
thank you.
Is there any difference between you before jiu-jitsu and you after 10 years?
Completely different.
Okay, can you?
I was a douchebag. Complete transformation.
Then what part of the douchebag is not there anymore?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it. I'm so humble now. The mats humbled me.
Wow.
Yeah. And Sensei Luciano humbled me.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Verbally and physically.
Probably. I'd say probably. But I don't think he knows it, because it's not towards me only. Like, sometimes, I would say, as a white belt, this move sucks. It doesn't work, And then after the class, there's a speech where he says, I know you guys say that. I know you think this move sucks, but you know what? We've all do it. I do it on you today, and it works. So how come? Like things like that. So it humbles you. And then I was a very, how do you say? I had too much ego. As a 19, 20-year-old starting jiu-jitsu, too much ego. I was like, I can tap this guy and tap that guy. And then you go roll with them and they tap you like 900 times in a row. And you're like, well, I suck. So it humbles you down. And the consistency. It takes a lot of, because if you're going to train like me 6-7 days a week, you're gonna need more than motivation. Motivation is not enough. You need to be consistent. You need to learn how to, even though you don't feel like going today, go do your best. And I feel like that applies in everything in life. You know, if you just have motivation today, you feel good, you feel great, you can go train.
But what motivates you to do that then? Let's say forget the past, the idea where you have to be motivated to do that. But what motivates you to do all these things?
I don't know. I just want to follow something. I wanna have a goal, and I want to go towards that goal. And in order to achieve my goal, I have to be consistent.
Which
So,
is,
well,
let's say your goal now.
let's say my goal is to get better as a teacher and to get better as a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Let's just say that. That's one goal.
Is it your goal?
It's a big goal.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's
But
one of the goals.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, it's one of my goals.
Yeah,
Let's say that's the goal. I can't rely on my motivation.
I agree.
So I have to be consistent. I have to show up every day. I have to learn. I have to teach. I have to, I have to do a lot of things. And if I'm not consistent, it won't work. So I learned that early on,
Yeah,
training 6-7 days a week,
yeah.
and change my personality, because now I apply that in other aspects of my life. So like I used to do another job, I used to work, I was more consistent. I was more, and there's also the martial aspect of martial arts.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I never liked it. Us and but it brings a bit of organization to my life, and now I respect people differently. It's like a hierarchy type thing. It's better for me. That I guess other people, a lot of people left, training because it doesn't work for them. They don't like that. They want to just do jiu-jitsu. It's fun. Boom, boom. You do whatever you want, and then it's completely fine. Do whatever you want, But I like this aspect.
Me too.
That's great. That's why we're teammates, right?
I guess. Let's have fun.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm always.
So here's what I did. I asked some of our colleagues, okay, if you can give me a couple of questions that you would like to know about Bashar, because I just told him that I was.
Can I guess who said the questions? Because I can probably guess.
If you can, that'd be fun. But they'll stay anonymous on my side.
Okay.
And I will not.
Do you know who?
Confirm nor deny.
Okay, you won't.
Okay, of course I know.
I can see it in your face.
Yeah, let's see if you see it in my face. First one.
Yeah.
In the last few years, your role as a leader greatly increased. As a new black belt, did you have time to reflect on the impact this may have on you?
It won't have that big of an impact because I've already been in this situation for a while now, where I have to lead this little, there's a few guys, while they compete, while they learn jiu-jitsu. So I was already in the front, in front of them, teaching them jiu-jitsu, teaching them how to, how to stay cool under pressure, leading them by example, basically.
Yeah.
So I've already had this part. So a black belt just means that, I don't know, it means a lot to me, to my professor, to give it to me, to my teammates who've been looking up to me. But it doesn't change the role as is. It's the same goal. It's always been the same. But now it's a bit more, it's a next step type of thing.
Got it.
It's the same thing.
In the same line, do you feel a certain pressure to act a certain way, like, for example, more responsibly to your students' development?
Yes. Yeah. I can't be myself completely.
What does it look like to be yourself?
Because my approach to jiu-jitsu is very competitive.
Got it.
Yeah. Like if you tell me I don't feel like training today, I'm going to insult you.
Got it.
But I can't do that anymore. I have to
they
be
robbed you from that pleasure.
Yes, I have to be
you.
motivational. I have to be nice. I have to be, sometimes I'm teaching the kids, like 8 to 12, right? Obviously not the young ones, but they're so soft. I'm like, just snap him down. And then Sensei comes in, he's like, what are you saying to these kids? And the competitive part of me came out,
I feel you.
So
there was a crack in the wall.
Exactly. I have to really watch what I'm saying and how I'm acting. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. What about your own search for knowledge? You still...
In jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a nerd.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you watch a lot of videos?
A lot of tape. Everything that's...
You know that tape doesn't exist anymore.
What it's called in jiu-jitsu, I don't know why we say
People, they watch tape?
we say we watch tape,
Okay.
but it's true. It's not really tape. We watch YouTube basically, or flow grappling.
And you
know?
send faxes to your friends, right?
Okay, well,
Okay, no.
don't use my own sarcasm against me. But I watch a lot of matches because I feel like if an instructional, it's cool, but seeing the move done in a match where I can stop it frame to frame and learn the move is better.
For sure.
Yeah, and depending on the style of the person, I can take it in, try it myself, see what doesn't work for me, and then after that, I give it to my students.
Got it.
And my students are famously, like the competitors, they don't do anything, okay? They completely rely on me for knowledge.
Great.
No, it's bad.
Why it's
It's bad because they're not doing their homework.
Well, how much homework can you do? Some of them, it's not their lives.
I don't know, but
What's the expectation?
expectation is do a bit more.
Okay.
Do something on yourself by yourself, and
Okay.
then I'll do the rest. I'll fix it. Some of them do, have a couple of guys that learn things and they come see me and say, "This is good, this is bad." Yes. Some of them just completely rely on what I show them. It's
Great.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. If you're competitive, I expect more than you. If you're doing recreationally, don't even think about it. I'll give you everything you need.
Got it. Okay, so you've been with Team One since white belt, right?
Day one,
Day one. What does it mean to you?
a lot. I am a very loyal guy in life. Loyalty comes first. So when I got my blue belt from Team One, I was like, a lot of my friends, close friends, they changed gyms, and sometimes I would go train with them, but I never thought about switching. Okay, I was like, I got my blue belt here, then I got my purple belt, and then, I felt closer to the team, and I really wanted to stay loyal to this team, and I'll forever stay loyal to Team One. Like I'm a Team One black belt for like now. It's coulé dans béton.
Nice.
We say. So I'm always, I guess, gonna stay loyal to this team. It means so much to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a mistake you secretly hope your students make just because it's hilarious to watch?
Yeah. Who said that?
I don't know.
It's so hard to guess. Mistakes they hilariously make. Triangles. Turn on the bad side. Turn towards. It's so funny
Okay.
to watch when they like panic and they walk straight into a triangle. Ankle locks. That's the best one for me. They get ankle locked and they put their back to the mat and they lift their hips. What are you trying to do? You're trying to pop your own foot. Just get up.
That's when you laugh?
I laugh. I've been laughing at these guys for like years now.
You're a great example of the new school of jiu-jitsu, meaning no-gi, leg locks, ankle locks. How do you bridge the gap between that flashier style and more traditional fundamentals?
See, this is a mistake. This is
I
a
don't know.
mistake.
It's not my questions.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Disclaimer. This is a big misconception. I'm a fundamentals guy to the bone. I only use leg locks because they're part of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you don't know how to defend the kimura, I would only use kimuras. Since people don't know how to defend legs, I'm using legs.
Got it. Yeah.
But I'm a very guard passing oriented guy, playing guard. I'm a well-rounded guy. I like my students to be well-rounded too.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this new school stuff.
I don't know. Me neither.
It's probably
Your
probably
current,
someone who's
okay,
not
so
accurate.
if you found yourself in a cartoon-style battle and you could only use one move,
Is this Justin?
I don't know.
This sounds like.
What would it be?
Wait, say that again.
Like, let's say you found yourself in a battle,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what cartoon style is here, but cartoon style battle. Could only use one move. What would it be?
One move. What would it be? I don't teach it. I'm completely against it.
Which is
But flying arm bars.
flying armbar. It is.
I can do some mean flying arm bars.
I want to see next
Yeah.
time. What's the position that gives you the most trouble?
A position that I hate. Well, everyone knows I'm not that great in the gi. When I say that, I don't mean about students. I mean about like high level competitors. Double sleeve. Anytime you take both of my sleeves, I want to kill myself. I don't want to be there anymore. So my roles with higher belts who take 2 sleeves on me.
No good, huh?
I can't.
Thank you for letting me know. I'll try that next time.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay, so why do you always finish second at ADCC?
Now that's Justin. Okay, so it's kind of a running gag now. It's been 4 times. Ever since ADCC came to Canada, I was there competing at a purple belt, and I finished second. It was a very, very nice, you know, as a purple belt finishing second. It's a big deal. And then I did it again. I finished second. So I was like, okay, well, he's still good. You know, he's finishing second. He's a brown belt now. And then I did it third time, finished second. So I was like, well, now it's a bit much. You know, let's try to get the first place. Because I'll explain why. There's pretty good black belts competing in ADCCs. And somehow one of the good black belts is on my side of the bracket. And the other good black belts are on the other side of the bracket. So I win these first matches somehow, you know. I'll talk to you about that. I think it's important to talk about. But when I get to the final, usually my opponent has a lot more experience than me as a black belt. I'm a purple brown belt, and they've competed a lot more. They have better strategies. And ADCC finals, you can't really pull guard whenever you want, you know. So it's all these factors together. But I'm a good competitor. That's what I think. I'm not a great technician. So in jiu-jitsu, some people are really good on the mats in training, like really good. When they go compete, it's not that good, the results. I'm the opposite. I'm okay in training. Like I can win. I'm pretty good in technique, but on the competition mats, I do better because my strategy is always on point. So, you know, even when most people are better than me in the training room, they tap me. And I tapped a lot in training. I don't mind it because I don't want to tap in competition. That's for sure. So they're better than me in training room, but when we go compete, I beat them. I don't beat them by much, like 2-0 or, you know, but I don't let them move the whole match. So I completely forgot my point here. But what I'm trying to say is... why do I finish second? Because some people are really good at jiu-jitsu.
It's a good answer.
And Justin, I hate you for that. I knew it's him.
When you started jiu-jitsu, did you believe you would stay with it until you got your black belt?
Yes, I never thought about quitting. I never thought about it. I don't know why. That's one of the questions I ask myself a lot. I don't know why I stuck to it. I think because I like it as a sport, so I stuck to it. And I tell you, it wasn't really hard for me to stay with it. I never thought about quitting. Like after a year or two, I never thought about it. The only thing that set me back was competition. It's hard, but you know, it was easy for me.
When you're stuck in a position, what goes through your mind? A, your exes. B, switching sports. C, opening an Akai food truck.
That's a crazy question. What is wrong with people?
No. It's fun for me to receive these questions.
Okay.
I go, this is a really good,
being stuck in a bad position
exercise.
Happens rarely.
Okay, but if it does.
So let's say I'm rolling with Luch in his side mount or Aaron in his full mount.
Yeah.
What goes through my head? Definitely none of those. Whatever you just named, that makes no sense whatsoever. What goes through my head? Maybe if I wait here, he'll probably get bored and move on to the next position.
So you have the play dead approach.
Yes.
Where the animal plays dead in hopes that the other animal thinks is...
Yeah, because at the second they start moving, I'll start spazzing. and I'm a known spazzer from bad positions. I just panic, and usually it works out. So
Here you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to say a couple of times, and we talked. I always saw you teach, and I thought, man, you're really good at this. I remember even saying that very early when you started, and you were like, oh no, you're just like no. I don't know if you were humble. I didn't know if you liked it or not. I didn't know if you were sarcastic at the beginning. I'm thinking, well, is he for real?
I think I just didn't know if I was good or not.
Yeah.
I think I was.
I saw some very good skills, but I also saw how people looked at you, how the kids looked at you, and that's very, very. It's even bigger than actually the teaching skills, because you could be a really good teacher, but if you don't have the rapport. But it was really weird, because when you were talking to me, I thought, and when you were the things you would say to me, I thought, this can't be real, because what here's what you were saying. You're saying, I don't like it's like I'm doing this, but I don't know why I'm doing this. Like you're always saying, it came through as you don't care. But what I was seeing, did not match what you were speaking. So when you were teaching, you were good. You had very clear explanations. I saw the way you behaved in the class, so it really showed that you cared. And I saw the reaction of people, and that doesn't lie. People really do care. So if you really didn't, and you were just doing this or whatever, blah,
I was
blah.
probably being sarcastic. With you, I'm always joking around.
I think I have problems reading sarcasm. I think that's what it is.
I'm
thinking,
know.
Is he for real or is not for real? Like, is he telling me the truth or is just joking? I don't know.
If it was at first, it's probably true. Why? Because I don't have any connection to kids in life. I've never met a kid outside of jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And then I helped Sensei for a bit. I helped him with the classes, so he would teach and I would learn from him. I would just like watch him and how to talk to these kids, how to handle them, you know. But I don't know how to deal with kids. So I found this approach, like after a while, to build a rapport with them, and they're pretty cool. Kids are awesome. So now I like it. Now I like teaching them.
Yeah, it takes more skill. It takes more energy.
Yes.
It takes more everything, kids. And the younger they are, the tougher it is. And I agree. But the let's say the positive is that you get a bigger thrill of looking these people evolve, these little humans, and the energy and the kids. For me, it's like a playground with kids. It's just like, I love to play. I love to see what they say, how they interpret things. Oh yeah, I just listen to them.
So funny.
Yeah, it's entertaining also. Yeah. And I always had like a really an affinity to this type of clientele. So for me, I find it. When I start teaching kids, at first when he asked me to teach a couple of classes, I would be stressed because I didn't know if
they'd listen.
It's not something I would do.
Exactly.
But I knew that from my day camp background, I was an animator, monitor, a day camp counselor, I should say. And then I would say, okay, so I got the group skills down. Now, do I have the jiu-jitsu explanation down? That was an experiment.
That was the hard part for you. That was the complete opposite for me.
The dealing with kids, give me a group of 30 people, no problem.
I've never talked to a kid before team one.
But here's you went through this experience, but I could sense from these kids or the way they were looking at you, the way they were in the class, that you were perfect for them. Like if I would pick somebody to teach kids, it would be you.
Honestly, I didn't know that at first. I did not know that would go this good. Like it goes, I'm telling you, it's perfect. Like the kids are happy, I'm happy, you know, everything's going well, the teaching is good. Like it just came so normally and naturally that I wasn't sure if it was like the right thing. You know when things are going so well, you're like, is this that easy?
Well, you're getting better, right? You're getting better.
But it was easy at first. And now like we're basically, they're like my friends, like my little friends.
Exactly.
You know, how was school today? I ask them how was school today, and some of them tell me, how was your day? Okay, like they're 10. What do you know about it? You know, and they tell me, we did this today, we did that today, I learned about this and about that. And they all like come and they see me and they tell me about like, and then I teach them jiu-jitsu and then they go out happy. So I don't know how, I didn't know it was going to go this well.
So it's even more interesting.
Yeah.
because it's like a self-discovery.
Yeah.
Like you discovered that this something that you didn't
Yeah.
think you would like,
Yeah.
and
I
then
had
it
no
grew
idea.
into you.
I had no idea it would go this good.
Bravo, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I have to say, if I was your agent, I would say, I saw this in you at day one.
Yeah.
You didn't see it,
I didn't see it.
but I saw it. I goes, this guy is good with kids.
So yeah.
So good for you.
I'm not gonna have any kids, but these are.
Who knows?
Dude.
You're very young.
No.
Young Jedi.
No, there's no way.
You're very young still. You have so much in front of you.
See-
Don't be in a rush.
We're not Jedi's.
You know how when how old I was when I got my first kid?
Let's say 31.
39.
Oh wait.
So you have time. You have time.
Probably.
You have time.
Probably.
If you would tell me at 30 years old, let's go, let's have children, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I knew I wanted some kind of children at some point, but like because I was part of a family with 3 kids.
Okay.
So I always have, probably some people, you know, when they think about having children, probably it's because they had a lot of children.
So you're telling me there's hope.
I think so. You'd be a great father.
All right. We'll see
You know,
about
you'll
that.
discover that you're a great father maybe at some point.
Yeah, the same way I discovered how to teach kids. Yeah, good point.
I'm not too bad
Not
as a
too bad at
father,
this.
actually. I can do this. Well, thank you very much, Bashar.
Hey,
It was
thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Actually, this was way more fun than I thought.
Yeah, me too. I was definitely enjoyed the all your past. And
Hey, yeah, I wanna also before we close this out, I wanna thank you actually. You have so many things going on. You have a family, you have kids, you have a business, you're rolling everything, and I always see you trying to do stuff for the team.
Yeah.
Like you do these interviews, you film these videos, you text me about ideas, you know, you tell me do this, do that. You're so implicated in it, and you have so much going on the outside. You could have just been a normal, you know, just a one of the black belts. You know, you help during training or whatever, and you live your life normally. You could have done that, but you do so much more for us, and nobody like. Nobody is asking. You're just helping out of the goodness of your heart. So I want to thank you for that. Because I don't know if people do thank you. I know Sensei always thanks you, but I appreciate it, and I know a lot of other guys appreciate it too. So I want to say that.
Man, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We finish on this note.
On this note,
It was a pleasure, Bashar.
yeah, thank you, man.
Big
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
Good job.